This is the Seahawkers Podcast, episode 469. I'm Brandon Schultz of the Military Seahawkers, and I am joined by my good buddy Adam Emmert as we are talking the next in the series of our Know Your Rivals offseason episodes. And Adam, we are talking about the stupid Los Angeles Rams.
Yep, we are talking about the Rams, and look, we talk about sports hate all the time on this show, and there's no team in the NFL, or maybe in all of sports, that I have more sports hatred for than the Rams. They are maybe the most annoying franchise in all of franchises. Now, that doesn't mean that the Niners aren't darn close to that. They are. I just really dislike this organization, and especially the history over the last few years. Like, screw these guys.
Well, you have that history of leaving the St. Louis fans out to dry and moving to LA to just try and make more money as a franchise. So you have that rich NFL owner aspect to it. You have the Sean McVay aspect to it that, even though he's handsome, he makes up for it by having maybe the worst sounding voice of any coach in the entire NFL. It just grates on you. And I don't understand why they would consider putting that on TV, but that appears to be, that's been some of the talk, is that maybe we would get a reprieve as Seahawks fans, that Sean McVay would go to look toward the booth instead of coaching his football team. But that hasn't worked out for us either.
It has not. We did get the reprieve of having Aaron Donald retire last year, and that was nice. Except for nice, it was ultra annoying.
We were also annoyed because we were expecting these other young guys. We're like, pick a couple of Florida State guys, and like they're going to replace Aaron Donald. Right? Yeah. And then they go into the playoffs, and it's those guys, part of the LA Rams front. They had more in 2 games in the postseason, 16 sacks, which is the most in a 2-game span in playoff history. So yes, they lose Aaron Donald, but they do not slide back at all. In fact, maybe they did get better.
I don't think they got better, but they didn't really backslide as much as I had predicted. That's for sure. And ultra annoying with, the combination of Verse and Fisk there coming in. And then put the cherry on top of the whole thing is they're not leagues better than the Seahawks, as if all the national media will have you believe. Because I just want to remind those people that when it came down to the end of the year, what did we lose on the 137th tiebreaker?
It was
of who is going to the playoffs or not.
Yeah, it had to do with some kind of strength of schedule nonsense.
Yeah, exactly. But you'll still hear all of the national pundits just come out, and I wanted to say something super inappropriate there. I'm going to censor myself, but pat the Rams on the back as much as they possibly can while overlooking the Seahawks. Plus, you take into account the Rams fans, all 7 of them, and then all the other paid actors they put in the stadium there, and the fickle city of LA, and their selfish ass owner. And it's easy to sports hate them. It just really is.
The most annoying part about last year is that we thought we were going to get the down year on the Rams, right? Like the F them pick strategy, it had finally blown up on them to the point to where they were going to need at least one rebuilding year. And when they got to their bye week and they were 1-4, and the Seahawks, I believe, were at the top of the division at that point, and we're thinking, okay, well, we just have the Niners to worry about because obviously the Cardinals are going to fade. And it looked like this would be the year that, we wouldn't have to worry about the Rams as much. And then things flip. They get wins over the Raiders and Vikings and take our Seahawks to overtime. And that gets them back to 4-4. And, the rest is history as far as the regular season goes, as they win enough games to where that final game against us doesn't even matter. They put their scrubs in and they still go to the playoffs.
They still go to the playoffs. We split 1-1, again, one against their scrubs, but went back and watched just portions of the midseason matchup. And that was a back and forth game, a wild game. We saw the best of Geno Smith. We saw some of the worst of Geno Smith in that game. And probably a big reason why he's not on the roster at this point are the 2 fourth quarter picks down in the red zone. One of them was unbelievably inexcusable. Just throw the ball away. Just as bad of a quarterback decision as one can make. Awful. And the second one, a god-awful, long-developing play call that requires the tight end to come completely across the formation. And then they decided not to block alignment as well. And Geno gets blowed up and bounces off of his own guy and ends up picked off. And go to overtime. And then we lose because we couldn't run the football. And that was kind of the season in the nutshell there, as they failed on 3rd and 1, 4th and 1 in overtime to try to seal the deal there. And it really feels like that game was really kind of the springboard for the Rams going forward for the rest of the year to kind of have a strong finish. And screw them. Catfish! I hate that. It still makes me mad thinking about it almost a year later, right?
It's interesting that this game, you could point so many offseason moves of the Seahawks and how it links back directly to this game against the Rams, because you mentioned Geno, that interception. He threw 3 interceptions on the day.
3 touchdowns.
He also had 3 touchdowns, but you talk about Geno not being here. You talk about Ryan Grubb not being here with some of the frustrating play call type things. Because actually, K9, that was maybe one of his better games of the season. 25 attempts, 83 yards rushing. Although that they couldn't get those short yardage plays being an issue. DK Metcalf didn't even play in this game. Now he's gone. And so you look at that and you say they're working on their inability to run the football by then going out and getting Kubiak. You're building up the offensive line. You're looking at Geno being replaced. And moving on from DK because, gosh, you were in this game against your rivals and you didn't even have him in this game. So it does a lot of things you can tie to this one game and our offseason moves.
And add in Kupp, 11 receptions, 104 yards in that game. And I think we've seen that John Schneider does weight performances against the Seahawks with a little bit more weight than, say, performances against other teams. We see that with bringing in Sam Darnold. We saw it last year with bringing in Sam Howell. And we also see it this year with Kupp with an 11 reception, 104 yard performance against the Seahawks in that game. And a real turning point. That's when the Seahawks kind of relinquished the control of the division there. And the offensive struggles really kicked in as the defense began to ascend. And the Rams put together a pretty solid season for the back half of the year and even took the Eagles pretty far in the playoffs. Like they gave them a run in that game and Eagles were good.
Yeah, it was kind of a good season for the Eagles last year. And thank goodness the Eagles were able to take the Rams down because I think that plays into one of the reasons why the sports hate there with the Rams is a little bit higher than the 49ers is that the Niners, yes, they make the Super Bowl, but at least they give us the satisfaction of losing those Super Bowls sometimes in spectacular fashion. The Rams, they did it 50% of the time.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did you mean to say every time when you said sometimes?
Yes. Okay. Every time.
Yeah.
So looking at what the Rams did this offseason, one of the things that I look at and they've made some changes. A lot of it's changes. I don't know if a lot of it's improvement with what they've done in this 2025 offseason. Obviously, I'd say the biggest acquisition for them was getting Devontae Adams at receiver, but they do lose Cooper Kupp. Puka Nacua is still really good. It's something that I think we can expect to continue. Looking at their offense as a whole, they have a good offense. All the key pieces like Kyron Williams, really good running back. They got 2 good wide receivers, Matt Stafford, unless his arm falls off. Or I don't know what else would keep him from playing this season. There's some questions on the offensive line, but they've always seemed to overcome any of those questions along the offensive line.
they have in the last few years, and that has to really go back to their biggest offseason move, and that's bringing Matt Stafford back.
Mm-hmm.
There was a minute there where it looked like he could be off to the Raiders. It looked like he might retire. There was a lot of stuff swirling around the team there regarding bringing Stafford back, and I was really hoping that was the last year of Stafford, because, look, Matt Stafford is a damn good quarterback. I said it when he got acquired by them, and he has proven it out since he's been there. And when you pair him with Sean McVay in that scheme, a smart quarterback with a smart play caller can really mask a lot of those offensive line problems, or at least help them get in a rhythm and get in a flow that maybe other teams can't quite do when they have struggles there. And that's why I think the Stafford move is by far, without question, the biggest move of their offseason.
There was a minute there where I thought that they might move on from Stafford to go with the younger Sam Darnold.
That would have been great. That would have been great. I'd have been very excited about it.
I'm glad I set you up for that. But I also had a little bit of worry that Sam Darnold in that offense, give him those receivers, give him that running game. I think Sean McVay, we would have seen similar outcomes from what we saw from Sam in Minnesota if he were to go to the Rams.
I think it would be more likely that you would see the same outcome. I'd agree with you there, especially regular season outcomes. I think that postseason outcomes, you'd probably see about the same thing.
Fortunately or unfortunately, that's not what we're going to see. Matt Stafford coming back. Who knows how much longer?
This has to be the last one, right?
I don't know, because I look at their depth at quarterback and I think they don't seem to be looking to move on from Matt Stafford. When you have Jimmy G as the backup, when you have Stetson Bennett still on the team, I don't see where they move on. As good as Sean McVay has been about finding and having a quarterback that can lead the team, whether it was Jared Goff, Matt Stafford, the depth piece behind their starting quarterbacks, it's never really been there.
It's true. And Jimmy G would scare me to death as having him as a backup. I'd much rather have Drew Lock and Jalen Milroe. No doubt about it. But it's going to be again for the Rams. Can Stafford stay healthy? And then their big swing with jettisoning Kupp and bringing in Davante Adams, does that pay off for them? And I would be very curious to your take as to where you see Davante Adams at this point in his career, because I think it's a very open question.
I don't know if it matters a ton, because Davante's done a pretty good job about staying healthy, which is, I think, one of the reasons why they were okay moving on from Kupp and then paying an older receiver more with Adams. I think because he's the number two. I still think Puka Nacua is your number one receiving option for Matt Stafford. The fact that they paid money to keep Tutu Atwell is kind of weird to me if we're talking about wide receivers.
I don't know. They paid him. I think they paid him just to guy money. $10 million for wide receiver. Sure. Yeah. I mean, that's basically just a guy money for at the wide receiver position. And they seem to like him. If he fits their building, fits the scheme, he can be their number three, then they're comfortable with it. I get it. But I do not understand why you keep somebody like Tutu Atwell around. I mean, I guess maybe at that number, it's fine.
I can't bag on it too much because he was taken right after Dwayne Eskridge that same draft year.
Yeah. He's been what, 300% more effective than Eskridge?
Yeah. Like he's caught passes and played in the league. So
yeah,
it kind of speaks to, I think, one of the reasons why the Rams have been so successful is that they've drafted depth pieces really well. Like they haven't really whiffed a ton when they've, whether it's picking up a guy like Steve Avila at left guard, whether it's their tight end pickups, like they've done okay. I mean, maybe tight end was a bad example because
Colby.
Well, Colby they got from us. Davis Allen, I don't know how much he played after being a 5th round pick. Higbee is still there, but he doesn't make a whole lot of money as far as salary cap goes. That was another interesting piece looking at receiving options, was that Colby Parkinson surpasses Tyler Higbee as far as the cap hit goes. And
wow.
I wondered if that had something to do with why Terrence Ferguson was drafted in the 2nd round. Because
maybe
the things that jump out the most when I look at the offensive salary cap for the Rams, well, defensively, I think they're ranked 30th in the league in what they pay their defense right now. And they're ranked top 5 in the league to what they pay their offense. Majority of that money is going to quarterback Matt Stafford. And then it's the right side of their line with Kevin Dotson. Yeah, I guess you can pay guards like more than any other position on your offensive line. You actually can do that. And
it's allowed.
You got Kevin Dotson and then Havenstein, their right tackle. And that's where a lot of their money's going. And then after that, Devontae Adams is in there along with Colby Parkinson and Tutu Atwell.
Yeah. And re-signed Alaric Jackson, the left tackle, this offseason at 19 for the first year, $30 million guaranteed.
And then he found out that he has blood clots again.
Oh, does he really? I hadn't heard that.
Yeah. They're not sure that he's going to play this year, which is why they go out and they get DJ Humphries.
Oh, that's awful. Look, hey, we talked about sports hate at the beginning of the show. Like, sports hate does not cover that. Like, get well, Alaric Jackson. That sucks, man. I'm not excited about that with him, the blood clots, man. That's a bummer. The other bummer for me, because this is somebody that I would have been really excited to bring back after watching him in LA last year, but suit up for the other team. They bring in Poona Ford to play the interior for them, and they get him for a song, really.
I know. What are the Chargers doing? Couldn't he just stay in LA and play for the Chargers?
Yeah, exactly. I do not need to see another ex-Seahawk that I really like. I don't need to see him pounding the Poona down there in LA in a Rams uniform. That sucks. But a really good player. He looked great in the playoffs last year. And you pair him with Fisk and Byron Young and, their defensive line. That's a scary front. And it better be, because then we get to the weaknesses on that defense.
They're the same weaknesses that they have every year.
I know, but this is the year that it's going to bite him in the ass. This is the one.
Darius Williams turning 32 years old. That's when it's finally like a corner that, and maybe Kobe Durant, he's not able to take a step up. And Kelly Witherspoon is still in the league and on their team.
Yeah. Yeah. They didn't do a whole hell of a lot in the secondary. And they really do rely on the formula of, hey, we're going to invest up front, whether that's in draft capital or money. And we're going to let that pass rush make our secondary and our linebackers better, because we treat linebackers as if John Schneider treats guards. That's what we do.
Well, we can be thankful that the Rams,
I know,
don't pay their linebackers, because that's how we have Ernest Jones, and that's why they have Troy Reeder and Omar Spates as their interior linebackers.
Yeah, and pretty thin there. We'll see if young Shula can make it all come to life again for him this year. We'll see if Stafford can stay healthy for him. We'll see if Kyron Williams can continue to be a league average to slightly above league average back, because it always seems like with these Rams backs, like they come in, they have a fairly quick ascension, and then they're gone. And whether that was Gurley, who had a fairly quick ascension and then was gone because of health issues, and he was the best of them all. But I remember when Cam Akers was the future. Now Kyron Williams is the future. Like, they kind of just churn through these guys, and it doesn't seem much to matter who they put back there. We'll see if Kyron can keep it up, and we'll see if Davante Adams is still Davante Adams. And I asked you earlier where you felt Davante was in his career.
Yeah,
because I hear guys like, I heard Brett on Bootleg talking about how he feels Davante's still one of those guys in the league, like one of the really good receivers in the league. And I think all of us as fans or analysts, I mean, whatever you want to call us, we all have positions that we do better or worse at in terms of holding on to guys for too long and believing they're going to be good a little later than they are. And like, for me, that's edge rusher for sure. That's running back for sure. A little bit quarterback for sure. But I think one of the areas that I'm good at is wide receiver. When the Julio Joneses start, going from team to team, or DeAndre Hopkins goes from team to team. Oh, but they got Diop. He's going to be great.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to be great again. I think that's where we are now with Davante Adams. I don't think he's a top 10 receiver at this point in his career, probably. I understand Puka's the number one. I do. But I think as fans, we all kind of think that these receivers are going to be good later in their career than they actually are. And I think that's where we're at with Davante.
That's a good point, because if you're to go back and look at all of the Hall of Fame wide receivers, how many of them were still good on their third team, let alone their fourth team before they retire?
Not many.
Obviously, like Jerry Rice, once he got to his third team, he was done. Randy Moss, once he got to his third team was probably the Patriots, and he had that one amazing year.
Yeah. He set records. Yeah. But that was also Randy Moss.
Right. And then Julio, after he left, gosh, even on his second team, it didn't take him very long.
You could kind of see it. And especially the guys that are built a little like Davante, where kind of more the X receiver in the big, tall stretch of field guy. And I think that's why they got rid of Kupp to bring in Davante, was the idea of not having the overlapping skill sets of Puka and Kupp, much like people talk about now with JSN and Kupp, who I think they can figure that out, that Kupp and Puka were able to coexist, no doubt about it. But I think they felt like he brought a different skill set. But I look back on the last couple years with Raiders and Jets with Davante, and you can say, hey, of course he did do crap with the Raiders for the most part. He was still good, but I mean, Aiden O'Connell.
Yeah. Look who they had thrown to him.
Yeah. The coaches are bad. The offensive line's bad. Like, there's not a lot going on for him there. It's like, okay. But then he ends up having his good buddy pry him out of Las Vegas and drag him over to New York. And that was supposed to be a season-saving move. And a guy that he's got all the chemistry in the world with, a guy who in Rodgers that played a little better down the stretch than he did at the beginning of the year, still not world-beating levels, but you'd think that they would be able to put up more production than they did in New York. I just didn't see it. I kind of feel like we're just in that phase now for Davante. Still an effective player, but a little like when Keenan Allen went to the Bears the other year. Like, what was that, 2 years ago? Where everybody's like, oh, they got Keenan Allen. It's going to be awesome. It's like, okay, but I also think that he's not Keenan Allen anymore. I think that's where we're at.
Well, and Keenan Allen was never at the level of Davante. Okay. The one example that I'd make, and the reason why this makes a little bit of sense too, is because this player also played for the Rams. It was also his third team among, I think, is he on his fifth team now? Odell Beckham Jr. When he came to the Rams, it was, and he dealt with injuries a lot, but it was when they made it to the postseason, it was like they were unstoppable. And unfortunately, then he gets hurt too in the postseason. But that would be the one where you'd say, okay, well, yeah, he's kind of on the tail end of his career, but Sean McVay still found a way to get the most out of him in that offense.
OBJ a lot younger at that point in his career than Davante is at this point in his career.
Sure.
Now, Davante's been much more healthy as well, so you can take that however you'd like. But it does kind of point to me to where they could be down to really relying on one weapon as their primary weapon in Puka. And he can do it. He's a hell of a receiver. He's obviously torn up the league since he's gotten here. But
Well, you don't
make it tough.
You don't have a lot of respect for the depth beyond Devontae and Puka Nacua, like Tutu Atwell, Jordan Whittington. I'm struggling to find
Mumpfield.
I wasn't even going to try that name, who they picked up in the 7th round this year at wide receiver. Free agent Britton Covey who played in Philly last year.
Yeah, it's not a bunch of world beaters, and it looks a little thin there. It feels a little like where the Seahawks are with their roster in terms of you got a young receiver on the rise. I mean, Puka and JSN drafted the same year, and JSN really emerging last year and showing what he can do.
Mm-hmm.
And then relying on an older receiver. Well, he's younger than Devontae, a bit more injury prone to be that number 2 weapon. And then you're relying on the MVSs of the world and Bobo and that sort of stuff. And it's not a murderer's row for them.
So that is going to be an area to watch. If they have any kind of injury issues at the wide receiver spot, how can they overcome that?
Especially a Puka injury. And he hasn't been 100% healthy since he's been in the league.
You got injuries here and there. It's not like he's injury prone.
Oh, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that at all. Okay. I'm just saying that he hasn't been a guy that you pencil in for 16 games a year, like, say, Tyler Lockett for the majority of his career.
And the other part to me, it's the questions on the offensive line. I know Coleman Shelton, Huskies legend, and a guy that they're familiar with. He spent like 1 year in Chicago, but then they brought him back. The Rams did. Was he in a UDFA, I think, out of Washington, and then a couple years with the Rams?
Right.
But yeah. So you have him back on the team. So there's some familiarity there with him at center, just in terms of him being a teammate. And then Steve Avila, who's
he's fine.
He's fine.
Yeah.
Like he's better than any left guard that we've had in Seattle over the last 3 years, but that's not saying a ton.
It may not be saying a ton, but like if he's your starting left guard, you're not going, oh God, what are we going to do?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good, solid 2nd round pick. And then the questions of whether or not DJ Humphries can kind of revitalize his career if he has to fill in for Alaric Jackson.
Yeah. And again, hopefully for Jackson, that's not the case. Hopefully that all clears up for him. But if not, I mean, DJ Humphries can go out and be serviceable. Sure. He's not a dumpster fire. Kevin Dotson, like coming from Pittsburgh, he can play. And Havenstein's a serviceable right tackle for sure.
No, the right side of their line is good. It's more that center guard left side combo that has me a little curious.
Yeah, I mean, join the club of center guard combo curious, because that's exactly where we are. I recognize it as a
Seahawks fan. I'm like, why can't the Rams be bad like us and how we have been on the offensive line? Why can't they just deal with that for a year?
Right. Well, maybe this is the year. It does feel like they've somehow stretched out the tail end of this F them picks era longer, about 2 years longer than I thought they could.
Yeah.
It pisses me off.
Well, it pisses me off too. And then we're going to see it circle around of who do they find to replace Matt Stafford eventually. And then once they have to start paying guys like Jared Verse and Braden Fisk on that defensive line, that's going to be a couple of years still. But going over the defense, and it is that defensive line that scares you. I wanted Jared Verse. Like that was one of the guys in that draft where I was kind of excited about. And then when we went to the Rams, he was dead to me, and screw that guy. I hope like he gets 0 sacks this year. It's tough to watch him have success, especially when you follow the draft a little bit and you're like, oh, I think that guy's going to be good. And then he goes to rival. That's not fun.
No. And we're going to get to that when we talk about CJ West and the Niners as well. Yeah, I know. Hurts my feelings, but, we forgot about, as far as backers, they did spend a little money on backers. I think they found some change in the couch and brought in, Nate Landman, from Atlanta.
Right. And whether or not he's going to be a starter or a depth piece, that probably doesn't matter.
Our lads has him listed as a starter at inside linebacker.
PFF has Reader as the starter, who's kind of been in that spot for a while too. So yeah, I don't know. Are you super high on Nate Landman?
Don't doubt the Landman, man.
No, I think we did a good job covering their defensive additions when we talked about Poona Ford, because that was really about it.
Yeah, and I think they really did need to make sure that they re-signed Witherspoon as well. I think they would have been in an even worse position without him, because he's worked for them in that scheme to a degree.
Somehow.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. There's always been talent there, right?
Well, yeah, he was second, third round pick?
Something like that.
Something like that. The Niners got a little bit out of him, and then speaking of guys on their fourth teams, you had a cup of coffee here in the preseason in Seattle.
Mm-hmm.
And, Pittsburgh for a while. That's a fourth team.
Yeah, something like that.
Good for Akello. He's
keep getting them checks, buddy. Keep getting them checks.
But I'm ready for him to, tank that defense already.
Exactly. Help bringing them back
30.
to earth.
So, okay, they're two top corners. Akello Witherspoon, 30 years old. Darius Williams, 32 years old.
Yeah.
That's not good.
What could go wrong? They'll be fine. What are you talking about?
They'll be fine.
Probably well for these lucky sons of bitches.
How do they do it? How does Sean McVay year after year get it? I guess it's the pass rush.
I really do believe that. No doubt about it. But with all that said, Brandon, so we've kind of gone through their off season for the most part. Not a lot of changes in the coaching staff or anything like that.
Yeah.
We're all familiar with that. What's your prediction for this year's Los Angeles Rams?
Why don't we pull up their 2025 schedule I want to see how it starts out, because it doesn't even matter how it starts for them, because as we saw last year, they were 1-4, and then
and the year before that,
yeah,
they were a dumpster fire early in the year, and I was dancing on their grave, and then they were zombie Rams and came back and were competitive.
They start off the season with the Houston Texans coming to LA. That's a tough matchup, a playoff team.
Loss.
Okay, let's give them that. But then they go on the road, Titans, Eagles. I feel like that's probably 1-1. So go 1-2 through those three games.
There you go. Yep.
Super Bowl champs. Obviously, they lost to them twice last year, once in the regular season and then in the playoffs. So then they come back home. Colts, Niners.
Ooh.
Yeah. Niners in a short week. Thursday night. It'll be a home field game for the Niners, who will take over the Rams Stadium. Colts feels like a dub, so they're 2-3. They're getting off to a better start this year, I think, than last year.
Yeah, probably. To be honest, of all the teams in the NFC West, the Niners are the ones that I don't know what to do with the most.
They might even have a winning record. At 3-2, I could even see them going 4-1 through that schedule.
Philly traditionally has slow starts as well.
And the Texans, I don't know if it's a guarantee that they would take an L to the Texans, especially with it being their home opener.
I kind of think so, only because Houston, I really believe in CJ Stroud in year 3, changing OCs, all the offseason moves that they made, and just with the Rams being sluggish out of the gate. It's all the trips to Hawaii that really kind of bog them down.
We're going to run into this similar issue with the Niners, with the schedule looking relatively easy for them.
I think going into the season, the Niners have the easiest schedule in all the leagues, supposedly.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, which won't hold true, and it won't be the easiest schedule because none of that matters, but cool.
Well, just running down the top end playoff teams that the Rams face. It's the Texans, week 1, week 3 against the Eagles, the Ravens. They went to the playoffs last year, so they're in week 6. And then they play us twice, which we should have been a playoff team. They play the Bucks Tampa. Week 12. Lions week 15.
Carolina Panthers, according to Clinton, and MVP Bryce Young.
They got to travel all the way across the country to play the Panthers. That's going to be a loss.
Oh, it's 10 a.m. start, too. It's all that. It could be the end of the world.
But so playoff teams, they've got what? So Lions, Bucks, Ravens, Eagles, Texans. It's 5.
I think Atlanta's going to be a playoff team.
We're going to be a playoff team. So shoot, that's half their schedule.
There you go. Yeah. It's going to be, they're probably going to be freaking 9-10 wins again.
I think I see 10 wins here pretty easy.
It won't be easy.
You don't think so?
No, because Jared Verse is going to have a second year slump for no reason other than I just want him to. And Puka is not going to have. Who else
do you need to block on that defensive line? You just load up everybody to block Verse. It'll be fine.
That's right. It'll be fine.
Puna Ford's old and slow. Braden
right.
Fisk, he'll also have a sophomore slump. You won't have to worry about him.
That's right. The league has him figured out.
Byron Young, nobody even knows who he is yet.
No, it's just too generic of a name, and he'll suffer because of it. Kyard Williams is a flash in the pan, and Puka, he won't be able to put together a full season like he has the last 2 years. Like, he's just put his body through too much in his first 2 years in the league. And then at some point, the bubblegum masking tape and paper clips that hold together Matthew Stafford has to come apart.
This sounds like a 6-11 team now.
Yeah.
I was trying to convince myself that maybe they'd have 5 wins by the bye week. Now 6 wins all season sounds about right.
Yeah. And all of this is based in deep thought and well-rooted reality, this prediction.
Yeah. For the 4 Rams fans that made it this far, it's called Know Your Rival because there was another 4-letter word we didn't want to put there instead of no.
You didn't want to put there.
Right. My fault. Blame it on me.
Yeah, because I have no problem saying catfish the Rams forever. I hate them.
And always. So, okay. Now that we've decided they're 6-11, anything else that we need to put out there for these stupid Rams? Like, is this, we talked about the Arizona Cardinals coaches having to worry about getting fired.
Yeah, which there was one commenter that took offense to that.
He didn't know his team.
I know.
I tried to explain to said commenter that when you have a bad owners tend to do bad owner things, and that if your team goes into a tailspin at the end of the year, that it's more likely that no matter how much the GM might like the coach, the owner tends to overrule things like that and say, time to move on.
Exactly. So yeah, he didn't understand where we're coming from here. Nobody was saying Gannon's a bad coach or anything like that. It was just more like, hey, this is kind of how these things end up going if things don't go the way that they want.
As much as I think we have to worry more about that television booth calling Sean McVay than we have to worry about the ownership deciding to turn over. McVay's built up some equity. They don't have an owner that does randomly weird things necessarily. He feels more strategic, unfortunately. Look,
if the Seahawks can run the football this year and Kubiak runs a functional NFL offense and the defense is exactly what we think it is, I can't see the Seahawks placing second in this division. They would be a first place team to me because everybody's got the Rams just like penciled in. Like it's either them or the Niners, right? Because there's a lot of people that are like, oh, they'll stay healthy, it'll be fine, and all those players they lost don't matter.
I feel like it's the Niners more than the Rams that are getting the offseason love.
Interesting. I'm not sure. It feels like both. Again, to not use the phrase I want to use, but the patting on the back of the Niners and the Rams has been extreme in the media. That's for sure.
You can substitute your favorite intimate term for patting on the back.
That's right.
Whatever that might be.
Whatever pillow talk you like. Yeah.
All right. Stupid Rams. So we'll get to the stupid Niners on the next show.
Yep.
What do you say we get to the second half of the show?
Sounds like a plan, man.
We are back and getting into the second half of the show, Adam. Some big news for our Seahawks. Some big news really for the league as some of the second round picks have started to sign. That was kind of one of the things that's been held up from this year's draft class. And now all of our Seahawks draft picks are under contract. Huzzah.
Huzzah. Yeah, no, you wanted that. And I think a lot of it seemed to revolve around a couple of guys getting guaranteed money as second round picks. Like, where did it end up? I didn't actually see the report on where the contracts ended up here. Did we guarantee our second round draft picks?
We ended up, well, the thing that held it up is the first two draft picks in the second round got guaranteed contracts. And so it was kind of the idea of, well, at some point they won't guarantee everybody in the second round. It'll start being a percentage, and just the NFL trying to work out where that dividing line, or I guess it would be the players and the agents that would be working it out. But all the GMs tend to seem to stick together as far as what they're going to do. I guess collusion has been kind of the story of the offseason, hasn't it?
They like to try to, like the Florios of the world, try to make it a story as if all of us are freaking surprised and anything's going to change. Like, just get over it. It's a little like the Epstein files. We're never going to see them. Nothing's ever going to come of it. Who gives catfish?
The owners are always going to try and work together to a certain aspect in a way that benefits them from a business perspective.
Yeah.
Yes, they are competitive. Yes, they want to win, but they want to make the most money possible. And so it's a balance of it. It's a weird dynamic too, because as fans, we kind of play into what would maybe be more considered the ownership viewpoint, because I want my team to be awesome, and to be awesome. Like, we want our players, we want all of our players to make good money, but we also, we want it to be fair, because we want to be able to sign as many good players so we have the best team possible.
Absolutely. And look, the owners are never going to get their hands caught in the cookie jar on this stuff. They got CYA for days. These are guys that have Cayman Island businesses and shell corporations within a shell. You think they're going to get caught colluding at the owners meeting? Like, they know what to say. They know what to do.
Well, I think they have gotten caught. It's just
kind of
what's anybody going to do about it?
A whole lot of catfish and nothing.
Right.
That's what.
This is one of the things that is worth getting into in the offseason, because the salary cap, it screws a lot of the players over, to be honest. Because if you think about all the top quarterbacks and what they would be able to make if there were no salary cap, and that would funnel down then to the other players too. If there were no salary cap, the top guys would be making crazy amount more than what they're currently under contract for.
They would. I don't know that it would really change the dynamic all that much. So I honestly think it would be better for the middle class player, now that I sit and put some thought into it, because right now the strategy for the salary cap for most of these teams is spend on your 5 blue chippers, and then everybody else get as cheap as possible through the draft and rookie contracts and all that, and trim the bottom of the roster, leaving not a lot of room for the middle tier of the NFL. If there was more money available, there's a possibility that it wouldn't just all flow to just the 5 blue chippers. You'd be like, hey, okay, I can now pay, 5 blue chippers and 6 red chippers.
The guys like Tutu Atwell would make more, because franchises aren't deciding, well, do I pay Tutu Atwell $10 million or do I just draft a dude?
Right. Yeah. It'd probably help a little bit, but I mean, make no mistake, the owners aren't going to cough up more percentage of what they make in revenue each year than they do now ever. In fact, they'll probably just negotiate a better deal for themselves the next time around, because again, it's like asking the owner to strap up and go out there and block a D lineman. Like, you're going to get destroyed, right? You ask one of these players or the player reps to go to negotiate business with these tycoons, like, you're going to get murdered. It's just how it works.
I think one area where the NFL would suffer is there would be more bad teams, because there would be owners that are just fine making money because it's easy as an NFL franchise.
Yeah.
Through the TV money. They don't have to pay their players a whole lot. They just get the TV money because they own a team. And because you do have to spend a minimum amount as an NFL franchise as it stands right now with the salary cap. Like there's a salary floor too.
Yeah. Maybe that would help the middle tier players the most, is to raise the floor.
Could they do that even more? I don't know.
I'm not, the salary cap's magic, dude. I've said it for years. I'm not a GM.
They
I'm
keep
not an
finding ways to make it magic too, with all these void years and option bonuses. It feels like it gets more confusing every single year as they add little tweaks to it to work within the salary cap. Yeah,
no doubt about it.
What were we talking about? We're talking about our guys being under contract.
Yeah, no, cool to have Imanwari and Arroyo in ready to go for the start of training camp here. That's going to be awesome. And I can't wait to start hearing everything about what these guys are doing and how they're faster, stronger, better than everybody else. And we're going to be so much better. And maybe it will get us through some of the silly season here, Brandon, because if we're talking about Seahawks news, are you ready? Are you ready for the upcoming trade that is being proposed by a couple of writers out there?
Oh,
are you ready for the Will Levis era in Seattle?
Oh man, you're taking my do better.
Oh, well, we can talk about it later.
A little teaser for the potential Will Levis
Sounds
era.
like you are then. It sounds like you are.
I'm on board, especially considering who they're looking to replace.
Well, we could take this in a different quarterback talk. Are you ready? Like, this was a headline that I saw today from 12th Man Rising. Let's see. The headline was, it's not even training camp, but Seahawks QB room is already crowded with drama.
Oh, there's drama that
crowded with drama.
The season hasn't even started, and there's so much drama that it's crowding the quarterback room.
Sam Darnold did look sharp in minicamp and all of that. And then the coach came out and said, he's our starter for sure. You're crazy if you think otherwise. But because Drew Lock looked like he was just a dyed-the-wool gunslinger that can get it done, and Jalen Milroe was learning day by day and just crushing it, like, it's full of drama.
Yeah.
Full of drama. Better trade. Yeah. Better make a trade.
I'm looking forward to seeing, because it's minicamp. Like, who cares what Sam Darnold looked like in minicamp? Who cares
Not
what
this guy.
You have to pull from somewhere to get through this July time frame. I feel like training camp starting even sooner, July 23rd. Like, I purposely made a point to start our Know Your Rival series that's a little bit sooner so we wouldn't be up against the start of training camp. And then they went and they started training camp sooner.
Yeah. So thanks a lot, guys, for consulting with us. But that's cool.
July 23rd. So that kicks off next week. Now, we're not going to have anything to talk about through the first couple of days of training camp. That's how it always is. Like, well, they're out there and they're running around. So,
Yep. And the only thing you really have to talk about are the guys that don't show up for whatever reason.
Yeah. Well, like Uchenna Nwosu, I think they already said that he's going to be on the PUP list to start the season.
Yeah.
Which he had off-season knee surgery.
Yeah. Makes sense.
Kind of makes sense.
It's going to take a minute.
Yeah.
It's okay.
I want him out there.
Yeah. Me too. Uchenna back. And he's going to be. He's going to be back, man. It's going to be good.
The only other thing that I had on my list to talk about, the NFL Top 100 list, it's moving along.
Yeah, that list is dead to me.
We've got 2 players on it so far.
I know, and that should tell you everything you need to know about how illegitimate this list is.
It did seem a little weird that number 99 is where Leonard Williams ended up.
Little bit weird is a very kind way to put what the catfish are you all thinking that are voting on this?
Jesse Bates, Atlanta Falcons safety, ranked higher.
Right. Fine player.
Yeah.
But Leo had just a game-wrecking season last year.
Andrew Van Ginkel.
Wrong.
Made it in the top 90.
Wrong. Good player. Not better than Leo.
Let's see. Jerry Jeudy. What the heck?
Nope. He had that one really awesome Monday night game against the Broncos. And then what?
I mean, he had 90 receiving yards, 1,200 or 90 receptions, 1,200 receiving yards. Like, he had a good year, but it was for the Browns. Like, what are we talking about?
Yeah, with famous Jameis just chucking it.
Did he have like 200 and some yards in one of those games? Maybe even 300? It was some crazy stat line.
Stupid. Yeah, I can't remember what it was, but it was outrageous, that game on Monday night against the Broncos.
Christian McCaffrey, who I don't think he played a single snap last year, made number 73. So there you go.
That's right. He had to regrow his both Achilles this offseason and higher than Leonard Williams.
202 rushing yards last year. Gets him into number 70. Now he is down from number 3 the previous year. So he did drop, I think, more significantly than anybody on this list from number 3 to number 73. But, it's okay to leave a dude off the list if he didn't play.
It's true.
But right ahead of Christian McCaffrey.
Yeah.
Our Seahawks quarterback, Sam Darnold, in at 72.
Look, if you want to put Sam Darnold ahead of Leo Williams on a list of, goodness in terms of NFL play, I suppose that's a decision one could make. Good luck with that. It's so dumb, Brandon. It's so dumb.
If you just look at the quarterbacks, they got him ahead of Dak Prescott.
They didn't play most of the year.
Didn't play. Got him ahead of Tua.
Yes.
And that's it. Those are the two quarterbacks.
How are Dak and Tua even on the list?
I have no idea.
Above Leo.
Leo did beat out Lad McConkey. So thank goodness for that.
Golly. I don't know. I can't take this list seriously anymore. And then I've heard the players talk about it over the last few years too. And it's pretty clear they don't take it seriously in any way, shape, or form. That's how this
ends. It's the players that vote on it. So that's how it ends up. And I'm sure it has something to do with the system the voting system that they've created for this, because I think it's a lot of guys that vote for, players that they know. Teammates, that sort of thing. Yeah. Something to talk about during list season. I think that's why it continues.
It sure is. It does. It continues. I mean, keep doing it. It is something to talk about. Thanks, NFL, I guess.
Thanks to the NFL. Thanks to our executive producers, DCH, Ryan Peterson, our live YouTube executive producer, JC Schilling in the 313th. Haven't seen Ryan a lot because we haven't been doing a lot of live shows, but we'll be getting back to that.
Oh, yeah. It's coming, man. I know we haven't put out a ton of stuff here in the last couple of weeks. We need a little break ski from this stuff to a degree, too. And I've been appreciative of that, but I'm revving up here, getting ready to rock and roll, man.
Next week, we're going to start seeing our guys at training camp. And
I know.
Then we're going to start seeing some preseason games. And I'm definitely not going to watch the Hall of Fame game, but
I am.
Are you?
Yeah, I always do.
Do you really? I always skip it.
Interesting. Is it just because it's such bad football on a bad field and all that stuff?
Yeah. And it's mostly third and fourth string guys. It's usually a level of competition worse than what you see in the final preseason game. But because it is the first game, I understand the appeal and why people would want to tune into it. Because it's like, oh, football. Here it is. Football's back.
I'm a junkie. What can I say, man? Give me a hit of the good stuff, man. Like,
it's not the good stuff. It's the bad stuff.
I know, but compared to no stuff, it's the good stuff.
See, I don't want to start off with the bad stuff and be like, no, I'm waiting for...
And work your way up?
Yeah.
You want that pure Colombian NFL football straight from South America.
I mean, if I wanted that, then I would wait for NFL Game 1 kickoff, because that's usually where they put that. But no, I start with the Seahawks preseason. I don't know when we're going to get a Seahawks NFL Hall of Fame game performance. I don't think we've ever seen that.
No, and I don't think we ever will.
No.
Why would you put the team from Southeast Alaska out there? They want to put, like, who is it this year? It always seems to be like AFC North teams, like Pittsburgh versus somebody, or one of the big name teams.
Maybe because they don't have to travel all that much.
I think there's a little bit of that. I think it's just a matter of, hey, those jerseys.
It's Chargers Lions this year. Bringing one of the LA teams up.
Well, there you go. Second largest market. And the Lions, I mean, they've been good the last couple of years. We'll see. That's going to be interesting with them this year.
I'm just looking back. Okay. The last time the Seahawks played in the Hall of Fame game, 1997.
Wow. Okay. So the year we graduated high school.
Yeah. And then before that, it was 1984. So we'll get around to it again eventually.
So about, let's see. So 13 years, that'd be, we're way past due.
Yeah. We wiped the floor with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers 38-0 in 1984 in that preseason game. How could anyone forget that?
Exactly, right? And hey, we're going to get a look at that a little bit this year with the throwbacks, man. I saw one headline earlier this week saying that the Seahawks Tampa game is going to be the best jersey game of the entire year, and I agree.
Yeah, for the 50th season, we are throwing it back with the Bucs and the Seahawks, and each team wearing their throwbacks. I know when we did our schedule preview show with Bloomy, that's what he was really hoping for, was that was going to be the throwback game. It made too much sense. So, yeah, thank goodness the NFL actually decided to go ahead with it.
Yeah, they know how to get them checks, right? Like they know what kind of money comes out of that being the throwback game. It's going to be a moneymaker for them.
Yeah, put it on TV, make it look good. Just like Cayman Jarvis coming in and making us look good with a $5 donation. Welcome to the flock to Cayman.
Hey, man, appreciate it, buddy.
And also wanted to shout out Brian and Sam, who came by the booth at the card show when I was in Tacoma.
Hell yeah. That's cool.
So got to see a couple flockers there at the card show. That was fun.
How'd that go for you, man?
It was good. I got one of my new favorite cards now as part of a trade there. I got
a trade even.
I made it. Yeah, I didn't even have to pay for it. I got to trade for it. I got a signed Marshawn Lynch. It's very nice.
All right. What'd you have to give up?
I want to say, I had
nothing you were attached to if you can't remember it all. That's hilarious.
So I had a Jalen Hurts and CeeDee Lamb card, both signed by them in their Oklahoma uniforms. And that one was kind of cool. And then I had a Caitlin Clark signed card. And I think I traded those two for like the Marshawn, a Bo Nix card, and can't remember what the third one was.
It feels like a win to me, man.
Yeah, it was fun. Yeah, it was Lamar Jackson. And then I ended up selling the Lamar. So.
Oh, okay. Sweet. Well, I think you crushed it there.
Yeah.
And just having a signed Beast Mode card is like, that's
the hard thing to find with Marshawn cards, because there's a lot of times they use stickers. And so they have the athletes sign these stickers and they can put them on anything. It's really hard to find ones that are signed on the actual card by the player. Unless you do it in person at like some kind of event. But those ones are considered to be, I don't know, they're looked down upon as ones that you would get out of a pack or a box.
Really?
Yeah. Well, that's another thing that came out of the news this weekend. There's this big, like the FBI raided some dude who had been auto penning a bunch of memorabilia, a bunch of sports memorabilia.
Oh, yeah.
And so I think that's part of the concern, is that there's no way to really authenticate whether or not somebody signs it in person. Because if you sign it in person, then you sell it to somebody, who knows?
I mean, I'm not at the Fleer office, like, watching guys sign cards, so that doesn't seem any more official to me.
It's funny you say that, too, because there have been some times, well, I think Luka was having, Luka Doncic had, like, his mom sign a bunch of his cards.
Awesome.
And so, yeah, you're going to get scammers, whether it's the actual players who make a couple bucks off of signing their name every time, or... My point was, it's very hard to find cards signed by Marshawn.
And you have one.
And now I have one.
That's awesome, man.
So, successful trip.
Yeah, I'm all about that action, man.
Good.
I'm happy for you.
Well, thank you. Yeah, I'm not happy about this memorabilia thing, because it stinks for people who have bought, like, I think they're saying, like, a lot of the Patrick Mahomes signed stuff out there went through this guy. Like, he had been signing memorabilia and pawning it. Like, he was even
So
getting
this is
it
big.
Yeah, it was. Oh, it's I forget how many millions and millions of dollars that they said that this guy forged, and then he would mix it in with some stuff that was authentic, and then so he'd send it off to get authenticated, and so when they would look at it, it would look so close to the other stuff, and it would be kind of mixed in that they would pass it through and authenticate all of it.
Yeah.
And the guy ended up offing himself.
Oh, he did? He self-deleted over it?
Yeah.
Oh, dude, not worth that, but golly.
Yeah, he wrote a big manifesto post before, like the, yeah.
Wow.
And explained why he did everything that he did and how it was this big rush to try and make all this stuff seem real.
Okay. Man, that's a bummer. Didn't need to do that.
No.
Also, bummer for all the people that got scammed, too.
Yeah, PSA for those people who have bought signed memorabilia that now there's going to be questions about a lot of stuff out there.
So, like, if you take one of these things to an Antiques Roadshow, might be hard to authenticate it.
Or even if it has already been authenticated.
Doesn't even matter, right?
Yeah. Wow.
Welcome to the post-truth world, everybody. Isn't it fun?
We'll just have everything signed by AI in the future. How about that?
Sure. Yeah. It'll be great. They won't even play the games at that point. They'll just simulate them on a screen somewhere for all of us.
Some people might think that time has already arrived.
Yeah, well, that's true. I bet you there are. No doubt.
All right. Well, shoot. Speaking of the post-truth world, I mean, are birds even real? Some people have that question to ask.
Yeah. I mean, I love that one was started as a joke. That I enjoy that.
Those are the most fun ones. Oh, that reminds me. I watched Fly Me to the Moon.
Okay.
The movie about it has Scarlett Johansson. It has Channing Tatum, and it's about the moon launch.
Oh,
and
cool.
Woody Harrelson plays like CIA guy who he wants them to film everything on a sound stage and broadcast that just in case, because they think it'll look better than whatever footage they can get from the actual moon.
Right.
And it was a fun movie.
Yeah, nice. Well, I'm glad that they went that route with it. Because
from the trailer, it looked like it may have gone. Yeah, it was all about faking the moon landing is what I kind of got from the trailer. Not necessarily what it was.
Good. Okay. Well, then I might be inclined to watch it then, because I just cannot. I've listened seriously to moon denier people and like went through their evidence and all of that stuff. And they're factually wrong. And it just, I can't. So I can't entertain it. It's the same as the earth is flat, people. Like, I'm sorry. There's just mounds and mounds and mounds of evidence that say otherwise. Okay. So, I just can't entertain it.
You have to work pretty hard to get around the earth being round.
Yeah. The mental gymnastics there are real fun. And I'm sure, I imagine in both of our do-betters this week, Brandon, there is some mental gymnastics made by our favorite folks in the media. And I tried to step all over yours earlier, so why don't you kick it off? Who you got?
My do-better this week is for Jordan O'Malley or whatever AI program. Maybe Jordan is AI himself, because I have to wonder if AI is starting to ruin list season when I read that this AOL list of 12 last-minute NFL trades we expect before training camp starts. And one of them is Will Levis to the Seahawks. This is just going to add to the quarterback drama that Seattle already has. The write-up, it's just like a little 2-sentence write-up.
Yeah.
If the Titans are all in on Cam Ward, Levis becomes expendable. Seattle's quarterback depth chart behind Geno Smith.
Mm-hmm.
Behind Geno Smith is thin, and Levis fits the mold as a developmental backup with upside. Tennessee could recoup a mid-round pick and fully reset at quarterback. All kinds of problems here. One, it's pretty funny that they think that they're getting a mid-round pick for Will Levis at this point.
That's the funniest part of the whole thing.
Hey, you didn't think that was funny that Geno Smith is still on the roster, because it's going to be an awfully crowded quarterback room with Geno, Sam Darnold, Will Levis, and Drew Lock, not to mention Jalen Milroe. So, apparently Geno's still on the team, and he's going to have some depth now with Will Levis coming to Seattle.
Yeah, bring in the male lover.
So for Jordan O'Malley and your stupid list, do better.
Do better. That's bad. Like, what team? The idea that Geno Smith could somehow end up back on the Seahawks roster this year is, in my opinion, a higher likelihood than the Titans getting anything over a 4th round pick for Will Levis from anybody.
Well, we saw what the 2021 quarterback class and 2022 quarterback class, when those guys moved to other teams, like, teams are lucky to get a 5th round pick. I guess maybe you might consider that to be a mid rounder, but from what we've seen from Will Levis, he's not better than Sam Howell.
He's not better than Justin Fields.
Right. And those are the guys that were getting 5th and 6th round picks.
If you were lucky.
Or, because Fields, was he a 7th round pick swap or 6th
and
or 7th?
And a bag of footballs. And exactly. I don't know. What did Mac Jones went for, like, I think the Patriots had to pay to get rid of him to the Eagles. I don't know. Kenny Pickett
was one of the last ones to go.
Yeah. Yeah. That's some pie in the sky stuff right there. Like, we saw Will Levis. We know what Will Levis is.
Well, and what are the Titans going to do what do they even have for a backup quarterback? It makes way more sense for the Titans to keep Will Levis behind Cam Ward at this point.
Yeah. Cheap contract. Might as well.
There's no guarantee that Cam Ward's going to come in and be amazing straight out of the gate.
No guarantee. I'd put a pretty high probability on it, though.
They'd be okay moving on from Will Levis. They do have Brandon Allen.
Yeah.
Who might be better than Will Levis too.
Is he the new Case Keenum, Brandon Allen?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They have Tim Boyle as their 4th quarterback.
Oh no. Why? Why?
I don't know. I didn't even know he was still in the league.
Me neither. Go be a coach. I bet you'd be an awesome coach. Just did not have the skills to pay the bills.
Oh my gosh. Tim Boyle is 30 years old. He's been Packers, Lions, Bears, Jets, Texans, Dolphins, Giants, and now 8 teams.
Wow.
Good for him.
Good job, buddy. That's impressive. That's a lot of moving. I bet his lady and family or whatever, they're very accustomed to packing up and going.
Every year, but he's had a job every year.
He's had a job every year, man. That's a lot more than I could say when it comes to NFL success. Like, I've never had an NFL job, never once.
Tim Boyle definitely on the coaching track.
He might beat out Will Levis for the 3 spot.
You're not wrong. Do better. Who you got?
All right. My do better is also quarterback related, Brandon, and it's for Cody Williams at Fansided. Headline reads as one JJ McCarthy superpower clearly separates Vikings QB from Sam Darnold. And I was like, oh, well, this will be interesting because to this point, JJ has done precisely jack and catfish in the league. So I can't imagine what this superpower would be and why they would say it over top of Sam Darnold. And he references a segment on NFL Live where the Vikings insider Kevin Seifert was on there talking to a couple of the guys and was talking about his arm strength and his personal magnetism. And the quote was, JJ McCarthy is somebody who I think we found out people want to be around. They want to talk to. They want to be led by and entrust the team to. People at Michigan probably know that already that watched his career there. But I think that has already taken place in the Vikings locker room. A, they've barely been in the Vikings locker room. And B, dude never mentioned Sam Darnold in the entire thing. How that superpower of JJ McCarthy's now separates him from Sam Darnold. The same Sam Darnold who was let off the field or was in the locker room post game, like on the shoulders of all of his teammates with champagne flying through the air and all of that. Like, yeah, nobody wants to be around that guy. JJ definitely has this superpower way over him, and he's proven it by doing exactly nothing to this point. So to, what was his name? Cody Williams at Fansided. I don't know. Maybe wait till a guy demonstrates he can do something before you say he can do it. Do better.
There's something going on with headline writers, and maybe AI is playing a role into it too, because I think I've seen more weirdly clickbaity headlines this offseason than almost any other.
That's a good point. You're right. And they've been doing them in really interesting ways. Like I talked about the not long ago, so-and-so traded in big move shakeup, you know, and it's like Drew Lock, right? Or whatever. And then you read it and they're like, yeah, so in 2026, they'll jettison Drew Lock for a draft pick of a guy that, yeah, it's just like, what do we do?
Yeah, a big draft day shakeup 2 years down the road of a mock draft a way too early mock draft.
Yeah, it's tough, and it's making I was already super annoyed by these sort of things, and this is something where AI is not making my life better. Because I think you're right. I think this is some Chat GPT bullshit.
Catfish.
I think it has to be, because it is really handy. With AI, it's able to develop an idea of what people really like to click on. And so everything's just going to be like that now.
Yeah.
So maybe we go back to boring headlines so people just know. Like title of the show, Know Your Rival, Los Angeles Rams.
Yeah.
That's it. We're done with it.
Yeah. Maybe that's the way that we have to go here. I don't know, man. But it's getting worse and worse. There's no doubt about it.
Well, what's not getting worse are my weekly Better at Lives, because they're always awesome.
Yeah.
And a couple of people who are also always awesome. Brett and EJ of Bootleg Football.
Yeah.
And they had their NFC West division week here recently. And I felt like they deserved a Better at Life shout out. Not just for taking a look at all of our NFC West rivals, but for who they picked in some of their offseason. It's offseason shows, but they're previewing who they think are going to win the awards for this year. And I shouldn't be doing this, honestly, because this is their behind the paywall stuff. And I did want to tell people, like, give them a little bit of a shout out of some of our Seahawks who they picked to have really good seasons this year. So yes, they did their NFC West division roundup. They picked their like offensive rookie of the year, offensive player of the year. Both Brett and EJ, they have Gray Zabel. Of all the NFC West rookies, they both tapped him to be offensive rookie of the year within the NFC West. And I was really happy to see Brett picking Kenneth Walker for offensive player of the year. And I think there's something to that, especially with the idea of going more to a ground heavy offense. I think this could be a big Ken Walker year. And that was recognized through the show. And then EJ for division MVP. Brett had Matt Stafford, gross, but EJ Snyder of Bootleg Football, Sam Darnold as your NFC West MVP for EJ, for Brett, and giving our Seahawks some love in your end of NFC West week awards. Better at life than Skip Bayless.
Hey, man, I hope that they are completely correct and those predictions are amazing, because I genuinely believe that offensively this team goes as far as Ken Walker goes this year. That's really going to be it. And man, if he could have that year that I feel like all of us who are big Ken Walker fans that have just been watching, we're like, God, this guy is so insanely talented. Like, just give him a little something, a little consistency and all of that. He could be magical. This feels like it could be it. Contract year too, all that stuff. Let's go.
You got the right offensive coordinator in place now, hopefully. I mean, there's no guarantee there, but of the last three that we've had, I feel like this, the Shane Waldron one was so weird because you had Pete Carroll as a head coach initially with Waldron. He brought him in initially. And so you had Pete, who wanted to run the ball. He was coming from a McVay offense to where the run is a big focus of that offense. And you would think that that would have carried over with Shane and Pete combined. It never got there. And then with Mike McDonald being the defensive guy, having that philosophy, like as soon as he came through the door, said, this is what we want to do. And then brought in a college coordinator to where you would think, okay, he's going to listen to his boss.
Nope.
We may have the right pairing now with Cubes.
Yeah, let's go. I'm excited for it, man. For sure.
You say Kenneth Walker. So EJ, I think part of his thing, because he picked the Seahawks to win the NFC West.
I love it. Hey, all right, EJ. Well, he does live in the area. So.
He does. And I think if that were to happen, I think Sam Darnold would be a decent reason why too, because if he's running the offense, it's going to be that combination of K9 and then running play action off of it with Sam Darnold.
That's right.
And that's where I think he would see the success. So that's what I'm looking forward to.
Hey, look, man, if Sam can come in and find that consistency in pair together years and all that stuff, and really play off of the success of K9 and all that, which I'm just kind of banking on, get JSN to duplicate what he has done last year, and then get either Cup or Arroyo or just whoever to be that second weapon. And all of a sudden the offense looks fairly dangerous.
Yeah. Well, we don't want to get too much because we got a season expectation show coming up in a couple shows too.
Absolutely. Yep. Looking forward to that. And so, yeah, goodbye them. Brett and EJ, glad that they had a lot of the Seahawks right where they should be, and especially the team as a whole winning the division. That's fun.
I think so, because it means that the stupid Niners aren't. And I didn't hear a lot of Niners love. So, that was nice to hear throughout the week.
Look, there's some of us out here that don't believe that just by bringing Salo back and drafting a bunch of dudes that they're going to be just fine on defense. But I've been wrong before.
We'll get into it next week. I hope you're saving just for a banger Better at Life to close the show, buddy.
Oh, I don't know. I just was waiting for you to put a bow on Brett and EJ. So there we go.
Did I not say they're better at life than Skip Bayless? Brett and EJ. If I didn't say it yet, you guys are better at life than Skip Bayless.
All right, man. Well, for me, I'm talking about a former Seahawk who just set a world record. I'm talking about former Seahawk Jimmy Graham. He actually just rode for 10 days, 584 nautical miles across the Arctic Ocean with a few teammates here, setting a record in doing it in just 10 days. Had been done in 15 days previously. An all-American crew that included Jimmy, Andrew Trop, Hannah Hoopy, John Hoopy, and they were part of Tulane's rowing team. And on July 4th, they left from Norway and ended up rowing 584 nautical miles.
What the heck?
To Svalbard, where the seed vault is, right? And doing it in record-setting fashion. We all know that Jimmy liked to do things outside of football and kind of push things and push his limits and all that. I had no idea that rowing was a part of that, but it doesn't surprise me at all. And what a cool accomplishment. I think it's neat. So to Jimmy Graham and his teammates for setting a world record, you guys better at life than Skip Bayless.
See, when you said Jimmy Graham and world record, I thought it was going to be flight related because he was a pilot. Mm-hmm. And yeah, I did not expect it to be rowing.
Me neither. But all you need to know now is that Jimmy Graham can get it down on the ground. Like we saw that. He was real fast. Mm-hmm. He can get it done in the air. He flies all over the place. And now we know he can get it done at sea too, Brandon.
Jimmy Graham should be the president of our Navy SEALs.
Ooh. Yeah. That'd be interesting. You would know better than me.
But I think we need to create it for him because he is now the master of land, air, and sea. I think those are the three, right? SEALs, yeah. sea, air, land. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, the SEALs claim all of it?
Well, that's what the acronym stands for. It's SEALs is an acronym for sea, air, and land.
Is it?
I think so.
Interesting. Oh, okay. I didn't know. I just always assumed like it was like
you just think that they really liked the wildlife outside of San Diego.
Gets it done in the water, gets it done on the land, like just a seal. Like it just made sense. I don't know, but I always forget that everything military is an acronym,
and you forget that seals have never been really prolific in the air.
That is true. Yeah,
not yet.
But I don't think of Navy SEALs as being super prolific in the air. Maybe I'm wrong. I thought that was like the airborne guys or the Rangers or whatever.
Well, you have Army Rangers. You have, what are the Air Force guys? Like the something frogs.
They don't have any, I don't think.
They pretend to. I think they do shows.
Them in Space Force, they pretend to have some
Special Forces guys.
Yeah.
And then the Marines are just all crazy. Like they don't need a Special Forces.
Yeah. No, because they're just freaking Marines. This is fun coming from a Navy guy. See, we've got nobody else from any of the other branches to defend your take here. So,
yeah. Notice we haven't said anything about the Coast Guard yet.
Because they're the silent service. They do a great job. They never screw up, so we don't have to talk about them.
That's true.
That's the best compliment in the world.
Yeah. If the Coast Guard had a comment section, it would just be like, great job, guys.
Yeah.
Or adequate job. You guys are all right.
Adequate job. Think about the paint scheme on your boats. It's a little hunter's orange.
I wish our comments section would be like that. Out on YouTube.
Yeah.
Adequate job, guys.
Adequate job. Yeah. You don't like the people that praise us and you don't like the people that slam us. You just want right down the road. This doesn't surprise me coming out of you.
I just want some middle of the road takes by people. Say, hey, you guys finished the show. You did it.
Well done. This was delightfully mediocre. Appreciate it.
Yeah. Getintheflock.com if you want to help support us. I don't even think I mentioned that at this point.
No.
Or, you can leave a comment and tell us how adequately we completed this week's episode.
That's right, man. And there's nothing I like more than living in C+ world, baby. Like that's where I've done my whole life.
And I think with that,
there's only one thing left to say.
Go Hawks.
Go Hawks.